Welcome back. Last time you learned how to graph a quadratic function. All these beautiful transformations, vertical stretch, vertical shrink, and the vertical translation. Today we're going to find axis of symmetry. We're going to find if the graph is open up or open down. If it's open up, we're going to look for its minimum value. If it's open downwards, we're going to look for its maximum value. And we're going to look at its y-intercept. That is today's job. Alright, let's look at this standard form. We're going to create some beautiful quadratic function. And we must know the A, B, C. Okay, so our first example, how about we have 2x squared plus 3x minus 5. Let's write down A is 2, B is 3, C is negative 5. You can also write like this. Put down your standard form here and then put them in the long bubble. A is 2, B is 3, and C is negative 5. How about this one? A is negative 2, B is 12, and C is negative 7. Why do we need to know our ABCs? Because next job, we're going to find the axis of symmetry. For axis of symmetry, we're going to use x is negative b over 2a. When you study the linear function, you know when x equals c and your graph gonna be vertical, right? Y equals c, your graph gonna be horizontal. That happens when you're learning the linear function. Now, because you already know this, so after you find the axis symmetry, you know your axis symmetry gonna be vertical. Okay, let's use this example to find axis of symmetry. We're going to substitute. X is negative b over 2a. In this case, b is 12. 2 times a is negative 2. And negative and negative, we're going to have a positive. So 12 over 4, that's 3, which means in this case, the axis of symmetry is x is 3. After we find axis of symmetry, our next job is we're going to determine is the graph open up or open down. Now, remember, the name of the graph for quadratic function is called parabola. It is a letter U, and this letter U might be open upwards, might be opening downwards. When does it open upwards? When does it open downwards? That really depends on our A. So all we need to look this time is we'll look at A. If A is greater than 0, the graph gonna open upwards, which means we're gonna have a point, we call it minimum. If A is less than 0, the graph gonna open downwards, which means we're gonna have a point that is the highest point on this graph. We call it maximum. In this case, A is negative 2. Negative 2 is less than 0. Remember, less than 0. So this graph gonna open downwards. We're going to find the maximum point. What if I give you this example and I'm going to ask you, is the graph going to open upwards or open downwards? Let's put down our y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. One more time. Since this is the beginning of this lesson, we're going to do some baby step. Put down each time when you need it. And a is 1. 1 is greater than 0, so a is greater than 0, which means this graph gonna be open upwards. And we're going to look for the minimum point. Now that we have determined this graph, parabola is the name of the graph, gonna be opening downwards. It's an upside down U. We're going to look for the maximum point. How we do it? Remember earlier we found axis of symmetry by using x is negative b over 2a, and we plug it in. b is 12, 2 times a is negative 2, and that gives us 3. When you find the maximum point, which is also our vertex, what we're going to do is we're going to use this point 3. So put down 3 here. Remember coordinate pair, 3 is x. Now we're going to find what's this missing value here. I'm going to plug in 3 right here. All right, let's see what we have. Negative 2. Whenever you see x, you're going to say that is 3. So 3. Don't forget that's squared. Continue, copy down, 12. Whenever you see x, that is 3. That's what you just found out. And then minus 7. Now, negative 2 times 3 squared, that is 9. Plus 12 times 3, that's 36. And minus 7. And this gives us 11, which means this missing value here is 11. Now you got a point. The point is a coordinate pair. It says x is 3, y is 11. Guess what? This is your maximum point. 3, 11. It is also your vertex.